We need to talk about this deeply concerning ICE raid that happened at a Home Depot in Cypress Park a couple of days ago. It involves ICE agents apparently ramming the back of a vehicle that had a toddler inside and then throwing a ball and hitting that toddler in the face. According to an eyewitness who spoke with LA Taco, on the morning of November 4th at the Home Depot in Cypress Park, U.S. Border Patrol agents conducted a raid in which 6 adults and 1 toddler were detained in the parking lot. The raid lasted about 30 minutes. A United States citizen was also detained by Border Patrol in that raid. They were later released before they had to be taken to the hospital to receive medical attention for the injuries sustained during that detention. I also really don't understand exactly what happened here, but according to the reporting, the toddler was hit in the face by a ball that one of the ICE agents threw into the back of the vehicle. What the fuck are you guys doing? We know that y'all are the fail sons of law enforcement. We know that you're completely unqualified, but what the fuck? ICE drove off with that toddler, and according to this article, they were not returned until almost 5 p.m. when they were reunited with their mother. I'm going to show you some footage of the raid now that was put out by Huffington Post. But really quickly, LA Taco, I really appreciate the reporting here, but just a tiny bit of feedback. When you said 6 people and a toddler, toddlers are people. When you called the toddler it in your reporting multiple times, toddlers are people. I think that distinction is really important because we have watched ICE repeatedly dehumanizing children, especially the children of immigrants. We've watched, I think it's something close to a dozen American citizen infants and children who have been illegally, wrongly, in gross violation of their constitutional rights, exiled from the United States because one or other of their parents is undocumented. The dehumanization of children who happen to be brown but are American citizens is pretty horrific, and I think it does not get discussed enough in the news. So I think it's really important that we remind everybody, these little kids who are caught up in all of this, these little kids who repeatedly have their rights violated by ICE, they're human beings. Many of them are American citizen children. So let me now show you footage of the raid. According to the reporting, somewhere between 30 and 50 Border Patrol agents were involved in the raid in a Home Depot parking lot. There were more than 10 unmarked vehicles, and at least 1 agent was spotted inside the Home Depot. We're not shopping at Home Depot, right? Because Home Depot is allowing ICE to conduct raids outside and inside their business, which is just a fucking slap in the face, because how many undocumented workers in this country have given Home Depot a tremendous amount of business. Okay, so let me show you this footage. It is of a man who I believe is the father of the child that ICE had hit in the face, and then they later abscond with. They rammed the car.
Yeah, bro, the guy was doing absolutely nothing, bro. He was doing nothing, bro. He got the toddler in the back. And they're trying to take him out. Up, dude. They just want to take him. Hey, ask him if he wants to call his family to come get the baby.
Am I a threat to you? Am I hurting you? Am I doing anything to you? Am I hurting you? Am I hurting you? Am I stopping?
Hey, you got the food. You know that?
And they about to drive.
Idiot, dude. This is new. Look at this.
Child, bro. That's a child.
This is wild.
Hey, he didn't give you consent to drive the car, bro.
Without telling me where you're taking my child.
That's wild. Hey, you guys are some real pieces of You know that?
Chicken shit cowards covering your faces. Can you imagine that kid terrified out of their mind in the back seat?
With a gun, with a baby.
Have the baby in the car seat in the car.
Look at that. Going in.
And they're in there with guns.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at this.
Hey, that's real patriotic.
He's getting in a car with a toddler.
patriotic.
And they're hiding their faces.
Look at that, in the car with guns with the baby. Look at this scumbag right there. Look at that. Look at that, with a baby in the back. Look at that. Look, look. Look at this. Look at this scumbag right there. What are you gonna do? Shoot, you piece of shit? What are you gonna do? You Hey, scumbag, why don't you take off your mask, mother? Hey, you're real hard with the gun, huh? Real hard. Yeah. Yeah, you're real.
Okay, a couple of things there. As the parent of 4 children, I cannot imagine. No, I can't imagine what that father was feeling. As he's clearly distraught, ICE is carting him off. He doesn't know what's going to happen to his young child. Also, the sheer amount of trauma that ICE is inflicting, that Donald Trump and Kristi Noem are inflicting on an entire generation of children. That little child, all of that must have been completely terrifying. Having your daddy ripped away from you, having masked men with guns cart you off. Your dad is screaming and crying. You're watching him be arrested. That child, this story is being repeated on like literally a daily basis for kids all across this country. I want to say a couple of things here at the end about the LA Rapid Response Team. First of all, thank you all for being willing to take on personal risk to document what's happening. Look at all of those people who flooded the scene to record, to tell ICE that what they're doing was wrong. It was not okay. We know that just the presence of bystanders recording helps keep the situation less safe, potentially less lethal for immigrants. The fact that ICE knows they're being recorded, that tempers their behavior. Believe it or not, what you are seeing is ICE being on better behavior because they're being recorded. Also, I think it's great to take every opportunity to be like, how can you fuckers live with yourselves? How can you live with yourselves? That's a child. How can you do this? How would you like it if somebody did this to your kid? We see how many of the folks working for ICE in these videos are not white. Very early on, they maxed out on their recruitment of Proud Boys and Oath Keepers and white supremacists. How can anybody who is a child of an immigrant, a grandchild of an immigrant, is an immigrant themselves, go and work for ICE? I don't. There's no fucking amount of money you could throw at me. And I think for most Americans, that's the case. And I think the reality is a lot of these guys, we actually hear from protesters down at the ICE facility in Portland that especially the agents who are not white, they won't look protesters in the eye. They are visibly uncomfortable when protesters are reminding them of their humanity, reminding them of the inhumanity of their actions and the humanity of the people that they are brutalizing. How can you do this? How can you look your children in the eye after you've done this to other people? How do you sleep at night? You know what you're doing is wrong. You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. So thank you to all of the folks who showed up from LA Rapid Response. Y'all are doing the right thing, documenting, speaking to ICE this way, taking on this measure of personal risk. We did see that an ICE agent in this video threatened a woman, claiming that she was interfering by standing like way over on the side and recording. That's not true. You're allowed to record. It's imperative that we record. I think it's also really imperative that we remember that for every parent that is being brutalized and abducted by ICE, there are children who are traumatized, children who may end up in detention facilities. We have only begun to assess the layers of trauma, the layers of injustice from what ICE is doing. I heard from an immigrants' rights person here in Portland the other day that children are afraid of going places where people are wearing helmets. They're actively afraid of law enforcement. They're afraid of people wearing masks, covering their faces. The way that this regime, the way that ICE and Donald Trump and MAGA have wronged so many children, justice in the days to come has to look not only like appropriate legal action against ICE, but also recompense, restitution for the families and especially for the children. We must continue to organize to stop this. This cannot be the new normal in the United States.